Hi, Clay here. Just one still rainy, bad, wet, cold. My fingers are freezing. Um, Hard to believe it's summer. Uh, the onions are the rain. We've had the rain for the past 2 days, and the onions have just shot right up. The best time for me to weed is while it's wet, and my fingers are freezing from just doing these couple of squares. So if I do a few squares, the radishes are coming up nice. If I do just a few squares a day, then I'll have them all weeded. Hopefully they're a little wet. I can always wet them down while the sun's shining and pick the weeds after I get the dirt all wet, because it's much easier to pluck them out while it's wet. As you can see, they come out roots and all. I just shake the dirt off them and throw the weeds. And I do it all from standing up, which is great. There's no back-breaking stuff. I just wanted to give you an update, but I wanted to show you what I did for our Chinese cucumbers. Now, these are the Chinese cucumbers. You can see they're starting to get blossoms on them, and the little tendrils are coming out. I put 2 fence stakes in, one on each side of the bucket, and then I took some 1x2 wire that I had left over. Well, I got a lot of it, but gives a big enough opening so if a cucumber gets in between, you can always move it out so it grows. Now, these Chinese cucumbers get to like 18 inches long, and they hardly have any seeds. They're nice slicing cucumbers, and you can see these guys are starting to get some size to them. So I wanted to put a trellis up. So like I said, I put 2 short metal fence posts on each side and put a piece of wire in between them, and I just connected it in 2 places. And down at the bottom, I just shoved the fence posts up to the spade part, or to the top of the bucket, and I just put the wire up against that and down into the bucket. But as you can see, we've got lots of blossoms, and that started. There's one right there. The tops are coming in thick. And what I did is I wrapped the tendrils around the wire, and they'll gradually grip it as it's growing. I'll come around this side and see if I can show you. Alright, you can see there's blossoms down in there. Nice blossoms coming on. A few of them here. But as they get larger, I may have to add another piece of fence up this top of this fence, but I'll just clip it onto this and go higher and clip it to the fence post for stability. And these things can get like 8 feet tall, but the cucumbers themselves get to be, pull a weed out. You just do that as you look over your plants and see a weed, you just pull it out, which makes weeding your garden a lot easier with this bucket system. And as the plants get taller, you just keep adding to it. These plants are probably about a month or so old, and they're doing good. And the cucumbers will be 18 inches long, and they'll hang down, and the more they hang down, the straighter the cucumber. If you left this to grow like on the ground, which you could, you would have a curly shaped cucumber. I myself would like to have a nice straight cucumbers for slicing, and hopefully we'll have some cucumbers off in this, and I'll keep you updated as we go. But I just wanted to show you what I did for a short trellis for the bucket system. And I could do this trellis the same way for the tomatoes, but I had some leftover wire that was left from when I built the greenhouse. This is cattle panel, and you can do the same thing, just cut off cattle panels and with a grinder and grind the edges off so they're not sharp. But I just use those as trellis for my cherry tomatoes, and the cherry tomatoes are doing great. As you can see, let me show you some of these. Got some really nice cherry tomatoes in here. Right around the other side, some really nice cherry tomatoes there. And these trellises work great too, but if you wanted something with a little more stability, because they do rock with the wind, but not bad, but it keeps the the plant from busting off. Really nice. They make really nice trellises. You can go to your garden store and buy these the little cheap generic fence posts. I think these are probably 3 feet high or 4 feet high, and any old wire, chicken wire, or anything to make your trellis out of. And they all work great for this bucket system. Eventually I'm going to have to change this stake because you can see the plant's outgrowing the stake again. So I'll probably have to put either a fence post or something up on a longer stake for this cherry tomato. But we're getting some nice cherry tomatoes on them. All down, up and down through here. Really nice ones. You can see they're getting some good size to them because I got a couple of stragglers coming off the side here that I'll have to eventually bring up and tie to the main plant. But I just wanted to show you these Hungarian peppers are starting to get these are the sweet banana peppers. And I haven't got a stake on this one, but these get a nice stalk on them. So, you know, you really don't have to stake your peppers up unless you're getting some really bad winds and it's destroying things. But they're all doing really good, and I just wanted to show you mainly of what my update on the Chinese cucumbers, because they're really growing fast. I have other cucumbers, and these cucumbers are the marketplace, or market moors, I believe that's what they're called. And they're starting to do real well, but I'm just going to let these grow. And I'm not going to trellis these up, I don't think. I'm just going to let these grow down onto the deck. Got a lot of blossoms coming on, and they're looking great. Got to do a little weeding, but not bad. But as you can see, there's not a lot of weeding going on. I got to do it again. This is probably my second weeding. I'll get out here one day. I've got the 4th of July weekend coming up, and I'll just take one day and go through all my buckets and weed them. Now, the last time I weeded the garden, I believe, is when the week of Mother's Day, which was back in May. So there's like 2 months of no weeding my garden. So, and you can see how nice the plants have been doing. This is just the front garden. This isn't the back garden, which you've seen in some of my other videos of the tomatoes and that. They're not really overpowered with weeds. This one here we pulled the bok choy out of, and you can see there's not very many weeds in this one, or that one either, and we've already ate those, so I'll have to replant something in these 2 buckets. Not sure what I'm going to put in yet, probably some more bok choy, because the bok choy is, even in the front, the bok choy is getting, well, this one over here is, these 2 probably should have been harvested before. These are doing great. And we'll probably get these guys next real big meal Ruthie wants to eat. We'll get these ones here and use these up. But you can see they're nice and full. Beautiful plants. Okay, I just wanted to give you the update on what I was doing in this rainy, cold day. I wanted to get something done with the quail and raise them up in that, but it's just too wet and too cold. My hands are like freezing. And as you get older, you know when your hands get cold and if you've got a touch of arthritis, what it does to you and how you feel about it. Okay, this is Clay from Popel's Backyard Farm, and kind of giving up on this cold and wet, rainy Sunday. After I get chores done and that, I think I'm just going to relax and enjoy the day. Alrighty. If you like this video and how I did the trellising for the cherry tomatoes and the Chinese cucumbers, give me a thumbs up, likes, comment. Maybe I'm doing something wrong that you think I should be doing something better. Alright. Follow and like, and God bless. Bye-bye.